The government of a country is the government of its king without question. If the king is a Muslim, his land is Muslim. If he is an unbeliever, his land would be replete with unbelievers. In these circumstances, anyone must leave it for another country. Usman Dan Fodio, the founder and the first Caliph of the Sokoto Caliphate, was an Islamic preacher, philosopher, statesman, revolutionary, and reformer. He devoted his adolescence to the sincere study of the Islamic religion, and he spent his early life as a preacher, teacher, and writer. His collage of writing and quotes are still frequently cited to date, and in Nigeria, he is lovingly referred to as SHEHU. As a scholar and religious teacher, he wrote more than 100 works about religion, politics, culture, and society during his lifetime. Besides, he promoted literacy and scholarship for both men and women. Little wonder that several of his daughters became scholars and authors. He wrote a critique of the elite African Muslims of the present day because of what he saw as the pagan tendencies, materialism, and disdain for Sharia. Dan Fodio was born on 15 December 1754 in Maratha, a village in the northern part of Nigeria. He came from the first Fulani colonists who arrived in Hausa land in the 15th century. An Islamic scholar, Muhammad Fodio, was his father. His mother, however, is believed to be a direct descendant of Muhammad, the Islamic prophet. Usman and his family moved to Degel when he was a little boy. There, he learned the Quran. He founded a school in Degel at the age of 20 and advocated for a more rigorous practice of Islam. He quickly attained a solid education in the Classical Islamic Sciences, Philosophies and Theologies. At the same time, he developed into a well-regarded religious thinker. His mentor, Jubril Umar, was a religious figure who ardently supported Jihad at the time. In 1774, Dan Fodio began traveling around rural areas as an itinerant Muslim preacher. He played a pivotal role in the spread of Islam throughout countryside. The foregoing strengthened its popular foundation and introduced literacy to an awful lot of rural villages. Dan Fodio once mentioned how he received the sword of truth to advance Islamic law and defeat Allah's enemies during his evangelical undertakings. Instead, his weapon was the spoken and written word delivered through poetry and prose. Usman discovered, notwithstanding, that Hausa monarchs did not closely follow Islam and had combined pagan rites with Islamic ones. As such, he decided to denounce these authorities. After the leaders of his hometown attempted to kill him in 1802, he led hundreds of his supporters into exile in the countryside. There, he honed his reformist views and waged a holy war against the Hausa kings known as Jihad. The military leader of the communities dispatched his army to confront Usman's village in 1804. Which now included Fulani pastoralists who had their complaints against Hausa authorities regarding a cattle tax. Dan Fodio used this tragedy as justification to incite jihad against the Gobori rulers. He and his supporters had taken control of Gobir, Kano, and other Hausa city-states by 1808. In 1811, he stopped fighting and resumed teaching and writing. Although his army kept advancing until 1815, Usman's religious empire comprised a large portion of what is now northern Nigeria, Cameroon, as well as portions of Niger. For the first time in history, a single monarch ruled over every Hausa city-state. Sokoto became the new capital of this theocratic kingdom, Sokoto Empire. Usman's jihad sparked a string of holy battles in western Sudan. On this score, the vast majority of people from Senegal to Chad converted into Islam as their primary religion. In addition, Gobir, Kano, Katsina, and other Hausa city-states experienced a poetic and literary explosion as a result of his movement. From 1000 AD to 1802, the amount of Arabic texts produced by the Sokoto Caliphate outnumbered the entire central and western Sudanese literary output by a significant margin. In the region, Arabic was now commonly utilized by correspondence and diplomacy. Usman divided his conquest between his sons, Muhammad Bello, who oversaw the eastern portion of the kingdom including the Hausa city-states, and his brother Abdullahi, who ruled the western portion of the country. The Sokoto Caliphate had amassed an estimated 20 million inhabitants by the time Bello's reign came to an end in 1837, making it the most populous kingdom in West Africa. Dan Fodio died on 20 April 1817. He was 62. Before his passing, he relocated to Sokoto, where his son Muhammad Bello had built him a home in the western suburbs. This was where he passed away. The second Caliph of the Sokoto Caliphate was Muhammad Bello.